Right, the big hand is on the fact, the little hand is on the now, which means it can only be time for this week's news. Let's have a bit of game. Big sad news first. THQ has been deconstructed like a pound shop transformer, with many of its constituent parts being sold off to rival publishers. Koch Media, no sniggering, have bagged the Metro franchise and Volition Inc., developers of the Saints Row, Red Faction and The Punisher. Relic, famous for their Warhammer 40,000 games, have gone to Sega, sitting comfortably alongside the upcoming Warhammer games from Creative Assembly, the developers of Total War. South Park fans can also breathe a fart of relief as the stick of truth shuffles off to Ubisoft. The lucrative WWE franchise was not part of the initial sales, but 2K Sports looks set to announce a deal anytime soon. This could be amazing or awful news, depending on whether you've played their NBA or MLB games. Sadly, some elements of THQ remain unsold, such as Red Faction, the Darksiders franchise, and developers Vigil. Atsushi Inaba's Platinum Games has expressed an interest in Darksiders, but only if it's at a knockdown price. Let us know what you think, and for the full list of sales, check the link in the description. It's also been a week of new hardware rumours, some possibly true, others definitely steaming piles of falsified dump. Specifications for PS4 developer kits have reportedly been leaked, and they include possible plans for a new controller, complete with integrated Vita-style touchpad. The Vita, which we hasten to add, is apparently the most desirable console in Japan right now. No, we don't understand either. For the full fat specs, check the link in the description. Monday also saw some new information about the Nextbox, followed the next day by a full breakdown of specs from a Microsoft insider. And this is where we put our smug hats on. The information turned out to be a festering chamber pot of nonsense, but our brave boys over at computerandvideogames.com did not take the bait. This week also saw another Nintendo Direct, with the cuddly Iwata-san apologising for the slightly weedy launch lineup before revealing a stack of new games on the way to the Wii U. Well, we say new, one is an HD remake of the GameCube classic The Wind Waker, but apart from that, Ninty looks set for a strong E3. As well as new footage from Platinum Games' The Wonderful 101 and Bayonetta 2, there was an overflowing wonder bag of shock announcements. We're getting a new 3D Mario game on Wii U, a new Wii U Mario Kart, a new Smash Brothers game, a new Yoshi game from the makers of Kirby's Epic Yarn, a new Shin Megami Tensei meets Fire Emblem game, and 2 new Zelda games. Finally, there was a massive trailer for Monolith Soft, debuting a title which looks a bit like Monster Hunter meets Jurassic Park meets something with giant robots in it. At the moment, it's got a suitably mysterious title of X, or Kiss if you're texting. And things were just as busy on the channel this week, with new videos of Ni no Kuni, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, Dead Space 3, Far Cry 3 Easter eggs, and The Cave. As ever, you can click Jensen button to click over to our CVG wall of video. And don't forget to check out our exclusive Injustice Gods Among Us trailer, which features Lex Luthor in a war suit and Wonder Woman being hit by a train. Sexy. And 2 bits of weird news to finish with. Apparently Game are in talks to purchase 45 branches of the doomed high street retailer HMV, you know, the same Game that were doomed themselves last year and subsequently closed down every branch of GameStation. And in our obligatory ill-informed public figure story, US politician Ralph Nader has called violent video game developers electronic child molesters. We're not sure if it's the developers or the molestation that's electronic, but what we are sure about is Ralph Nader is ignoring the fact that the violent video games he lambasts are meant for adults and not children. And that he probably hasn't even prestiged in COD. What a noob! Well, that's your lot for this week, but pop back next Friday for another slab of news.